So yeah, I had this grand plan of like taking the rest of my levels in Rogue, and then I realized it won't synergize well enough because of my rage. I can't concentrate on any spells or anything. It made me really sad.
Yeah. Uh, oh yeah, I guess you can use Arcane Trickster.
Yep, I was gonna be like, yeah, so I cast Protection Good and Evil, and then go into a rage and only take a quarter damage from anything, and then it clicked that I can't concentrate while in rage.
Well, you could always get someone else to cast protection from.
True. But could you imagine that though? Just like a little midget halfling running around frothing at the mouth and like no damage is being done to him from anything. All the while kneecapping everything with a hammer.
It would be pretty amazing. PDFs. Can close this one. Don't need. Actually, probably should keep this one up.
Still think I'm going to take a 2-level dip though, just so I can use my bonus action to sneak and stuff.
Yep, it's always useful for, especially for halfling. Are you stout or lightfoot?
I think stout. Yeah, because I have the poison resist.
Okay. Yeah, it would make more sense for lightfoot because lightfoots can literally hide behind people.
Yeah. I only mainly really want it though because even though I did it illegally, I really enjoyed trying to sneak up to that doorway and like smash that woman in the head. Particularly with how I have Brophy's personality really well.
Did Serafina say she might be here?
And she said she would try to make it, but she's sick.
And I'm back.
Welcome back. We were just not talking about you.
That's fine.
Hey, Perrin.
All right, we'll give her like 5 or 10 minutes to show up, and then we'll get started.
Sounds good.
That's fine. I'm eating dinner anyway.
You should give me some.
No.
How rude.
That's me, buddy.
So yeah, it sucks. I've been drinking all these probiotics, and I'm going through die-off symptoms from where all the bad bacteria and stuff are dying. Got this really horrible headache.
That's not good.
Huh. I just heard a noise from the backyard. Be right back.
And it's a beholder, and Kevin is never heard from again.
Okay, then we'll just get started then. That's fine. It's weird because you know how Anaheim, California is on fire?
Mm-hmm.
So I know someone who lives there, but for the life of me, I can't think who. It's a problem with too many American people on Discord.
Yeah.
I know it's none of you. I know that much. Never mind. Doesn't matter. So, wow, we haven't played for I think 2 weeks. Was it 3? No, 2 weeks.
2
Yes.
weeks.
So when last we left off, you guys were entering. You got to this island where this floating island, one of the first tiers of these island steps that lead up to what is called the summit, which is a particularly large floating island, the highest point in the shattered peaks. You found the way station apparently suffered some sort of catastrophic attack. There was 2 buildings in this kind of like little miniature Roman fort type deal. 2 of the bunkhouses, 40 feet by 20 feet type ish buildings, had burnt down to basically, rubble and cinders and basically ashen logs. And the remaining tower that the airship was supposed to dock at had suffered some damage to its crown, and one side of the cylindrical tower had apparently blown outward and scattered stone chunks all over the courtyard. Judging that it was probably too dangerous, too precarious to park on top of this tower, anchored to this tower, it was decided to drop the entire troop complement as well as yourselves off and to continue on foot from there. Well, it kind of was the plan in the first place, but the airship was supposed to wait here for you guys to call upon. You were told that it can make brief forays up onto the higher altitudes, but it can't remain there for long periods of time. It's largely dependent on the ship mage to power it without its gas blisters, and obviously its combat effectiveness is only lasts as long as the ship mage endurance holds up. And you guys came to the door of the tower. This Pippin and the others quickly discovered that they were unable to enter through the doorway. You guys volunteered to go through to examine the interior against Pippin's advice, where you found yourselves in this strange manor, which was much too big for the tower itself, which measured about 20 feet radius. Inside, you met a elfin woman lady who called herself Lethana. She rather cryptically indicated that she knew of your task and your quest, and that she was willing to aid you in this endeavor as well as certain other ones, certain factions that you've run. Not really afoul, but just have been crosswise with lately, as well as your own particular Sunstalkers. Apparently there's some faction within it that's decided to meddle with your memory. Let's leave it at that, for whatever ulterior motives reason. She challenged you to a test, seemingly largely martial, and upon completing the quest through this kind of hit and run fight throughout this manor, she offered she offered you all a boon, although it wasn't clear at the time what manner of boon this would come in. You get the connotation, the connotation is that largely you get to choose the purpose of the boon, and she would choose its implementation. So typically, as I was speaking in chat with Rick earlier, typically, like sometimes, occasionally people, when they've done some great deed for like a king or a duke or something, the duke or king or whatever, etc., would offer them a boon. And it's typically an open-ended kind of like IOU from a powerful person. And if it's within their power, you could ask for well, typically with dukes and such, it would be more like you ask them to introduce you to someone else of high importance, and you would receive like a letter of introduction, extolling your deeds and your trustworthiness. But this Lethano seems to be a minor power of some sort, so her boon possibly would be literally like magical in some nature. It's up to you guys. Have you guys thought about what type of boon you would like to ask for?
As a party or individually?
I think we discussed it, but we never really.
Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
I think we discussed it, but we never really came up with an actual answer.
I think the closest that you guys had come to any kind of like not agreement, but brainstorm, I guess would be the term, is that Thalia asked her if it can be something to assist them in reaching the summit.
Brian, you're not coming through, buddy. Seeing you holding down the push to talk, but we're not hearing you.
Oh yeah, I see him lighting up, but I'm not hearing anything from him.
Nope, still can't hear you.
Oh, and if I randomly disconnect, it's because it just started the thunderstorm.
Do you know that I was reading this physics textbook? Don't ask. And it hypothesized that if the Earth's core, molten iron core, were to be replaced with gold, we would have thunderstorms 100 times the intensity and a magnetic field 100 times the strength.
It's kind of scary.
Well, I don't think there's enough gold on Earth to actually replace the core.
No, well, obviously.
Unless we find a good chemist.
Alchemist.
Chemist is an alchemist. I just didn't say the first part.
I think alchemists and chemists are the same thing.
Unless the chemist is named Al, then he's Al the chemist.
Boo!
Okay, that's a new character.
Boo that woman.
It is a class, isn't it? If nothing else, we can go back to Pathfinder and convert it.
Is that the stupid class where they all they do is throw potions and bottles at people?
No, they have that ability on one of the archetypes. Basically, it's kind of like a sorcerer mixed with a rogue. Kinda, yeah. And instead of spells, they deal with potions. But they can like make their own mutagens, kind of like the Witcher, and it's kind of an interesting but really complicated class.
Yeah, I can imagine. Parent, have you figured it out, or still not working?
It was crazy because when he first came in, he said hello.
I didn't hear him.
Oh, I did.
Oh, actually, yes, he did. He did. When you first came in, you actually said something. I don't get it. Like, it breaks like halfway through the game.
Anyone get caught up on Crit Roll? As in it's done for the season?
Yeah. I skim watched through the final episode. Just because oh my god, it's been hell of a 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I've had like zero time for myself, basically.
I don't know if I told you, I finally got the Tal'Dorei guidebook in.
Oh. I really want to play a campaign in it, but like, no, I know of no DMs who's running a Tal'Dorei campaign.
Yeah.
Everyone else is doing Tomb of Annihilation.
I've been looking into it. I don't know if I might, because I know I was been asked to run a game with the Kithri and Red.
Yeah.
You guys might end up in Tal'Dorei.
Oh my god, that's the best!
That would be awesome.
Good luck clearing a campaign with 2 rogues.
Oh, well, no, I'm sure there'll be more than just the 2 of them.
It's just a full party of rogues. All the rogues. One of each archetype, as well as the UA ones. So we'll have a swashbuckler, we'll have what's it? Arcane trickster, thief,
Mastermind.
assassin, mastermind. That's a full party right there.
All I know is I'm hoping at midnight tonight, my preloaded version of the new South Park RPG becomes live.
Ew.
Did you play The Stick of Truth? It was so good.
No.
It was one of the I was surprised how good of like a turn-based RPG it was.
What's the actual name called?
The new one is The Fractured Butthole.
Oh, I see 1T. I get it.
The first one, the 4 classes were Fighter, Thief, Mage, and Jew. And the Jew was kind of like a monk, but there was also, it was like, one of its special attack was called the Circumcise. And it would do a bleed effect.
That's so horrible.
And apparently, in the Fractured Butthole, is the darker your skin color is, the harder the game is, like, outside of combat.
It sounds about right.
But, like, I know in the first one, like, when you're picking your class, Cartman's, like, say, oh, a white fighter, I haven't seen a good one of those recently. Or a wizard, because he was the Grand Wizard. He's like, a mage is like a wizard, but not as good. Oh, you're a Jew? We can probably never be friends. A black thief? I haven't seen one of those before.
It's so horrible.
And, yeah, just like, there's a abortion minigame. And just ridiculousness. And this one here is supposed to be even worse. Instead of picking the 4 classes, you're a superhero. Like, Scott Malkinson, has the power of diabetes. So basically, he eats a lot of sugar and becomes a Hulk. I guess he must have reset everything.
Apparently, apparently, it's censored in certain European countries.
I believe it. Brian, say something.
Oh, as well as Taiwan. That's funny. Jeez, I wonder
No, he's still not coming through.
why Taiwan.
I think Milo got so old his voice box broke.
I wonder if, I mean, obviously this is a dumb thing to say, but, and I'm sure you've done it, but unplug, and plug back in your headset.
Have you tried turning it off and on?
Yeah. Have you ever watched the IT Crowd?
No.
It's a British sitcom. It's got Richard Ayoade. You might recognize him if you saw him. But like they work in the IT for like a big company, and like whenever someone calls, it goes to the machine. Have you tried turning? And it's like, hello, thank you for calling IT. Have you tried turning it on and off? Are you sure it's plugged in? Normally 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, it's fixed, and they never have to pick up the phone.
It's actually funny because I've heard that like that actually has happened. Like it's usually have you plugged it in? And then someone will come back and be like, oh, I plugged it in like the wrong thing.
Yeah, people are crazy.
One of my favorite things I read was a guy he bought a turkey for Thanksgiving, and he was trying to prepare it, but there were no chicken breast. There was no turkey breast on it. So he called up screaming, "Where is this? You sold me half a bird." And he's like, "Sir, have you tried flipping it over so it's the right side up?" I'm no idiot. I know how to prepare a turkey. And then like you hear him in the background mumbling, and then he's like, "Oh," and then you just hear the phone hang up. Still nothing, Pran.
I haven't seen him type anything either.
He's
there he
typing.
is.
It's like, I'll show you.
This won't be done, but Pran, go down to your other channel and see if it's just this channel for some reason.
That could be why. Although I don't see why.
It did not work.
That's so weird because we all heard him when he first came in, right?
Maybe his headset's going.
Yeah, I didn't hear him, but that's just me. Does your headset have a muting function? I know mine does. I've had that problem a couple of times.
Were you playing out in the rain, you dumb cat? Come here.
What the heck?
I had Murr come lay next to me and he's soaked. Nope.
Still nothing. So, like, not going to assume you're an idiot or a moron or anything. So I'm just going to
Start troubleshooting.
start troubleshooting. So, go down to the right bottom corner, find your volume icon thing, right click it, and click recording devices, and check to ensure that the set the set default device is the one that you're currently using as your microphone.
How about that?
Yep,
There we
that
go.
works.
There we go.
I mean,
Yeah,
wait, he said something?
Hey,
Nice.
What
Like I
was
said,
it?
Yeah,
I've
that
troubleshooted
wasn't it, but somebody must have been messing with the microphone, and I thought it has a separate. It's not connected. The microphone from the headset, like, and it was in. But it
Oh,
wasn't
I
all the
see.
way.
So in the end, you forgot to plug it in, is what you're saying.
It was plugged in, and I put it on and everything else. I even think I pushed it in a bit because it was making like some crackling sounds in my headset. But then I just took it out and pushed it in again, and it was okay.
well, I think you should be the kid because of it.
I already did that.
That's what I'm talking about. Yay, child abuse.
I listed a bunch of boons earlier in the chat. I didn't know if we were getting one for the group. I kind of assumed that.
Wait,
Yeah.
I got it. We should make a Thalia not stuck up.
Good luck
Hey!
with that. I know if it was individual, I wish I could speak giant. Teach me giant.
Yeah, I've already got my wish list or
Uh,
one I want in particular, but
I just want like the Matrix, the low jacket. Like, I know
So-
giant.
so not to pick on you, Obadiah,
Yeah.
but as you guys are discussing the various choices, the various suggestions that you could make, the voice of Lethano does issue forth over the house and says, the boon cannot be bestowed on someone who wields such a monstrosity.
Brophy laughs.
She's just saying that because I fucked her up with it.
She really doesn't like you.
And I go back to eating my, what's left of my dagwood.
Dagwood.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know if you recall this or not, but she has in like previous episodes
Oh, yeah.
alluded to the fact that you do not know of what you're holding, what consequences such an artifact, such a device has.
Yeah, she's alluded at it, but I'm just going to assume that it's because I really messed her up.
Sure.
Milo asks if, like, hypothetically, would she be able to bring someone back from the dead?
She would reply, it is no small feat, but it depends upon how such a person passed and who currently holds where the soul of this individual currently resides.
And Milo just says, well, it has been many years.
Would she know? I don't think so. So she would ask, how many years upon the prime material?
Trying to think to make sure I get this right, how long it's been. Well, it's been more than 2 years. I don't know if that makes a difference.
No, I don't think. I think she was expecting you to say something like, "It's been 200 years."
No, it's been he is old, but it's like been a few years before I went into into my school of magics.
And who or what is it that you wish brought back?
He starts looking at the group and and he just says, Jill.
Thalia's eyes soften.
Well, I got no problem with it. Well, not that I have any say over anything, anyways, but I think it's a grand idea.
He looks at the group and he shakes his head. He says, "No, that's not what we're here for. Maybe I'll have my time at some point."
Well, I mean, how often can you make a request that it be possible? The right time's the right time.
Hoping to be powerful enough to do it myself someday.
Well, I hope that happens, because if I die, I would like for you to bring me back. But
It's pretty likely it will happen at some point.
Brophy's gonna snicker again.
what do you think, Thalia?
I think our biggest obstacle is getting to the temple before the others do. And I would love to actually meet Jill. She looks to Perrin, but this isn't the time or place to make such a request. What if she's happy where she's at? Would you deny her her deity's blessings?
Milo just lowers his head, and he was kind of like sat up on the couch, kind of half stood, half sat, and then when you say that, he kind of just slumps back down on the couch.
Because wherever she is, I bet she can see you and is following your adventures. So she's probably really proud of you. But would you deny her her? I guess you'd say her heaven where there's no pain, no illness. When within a short time compared to her, you'll be up there with her.
Wait, are you saying I'm gonna die soon?
Well, not soon.
You're right. I wonder where she is, and if I'll ever go to the same place. We have other things. We have other things, and we have the living to contend with and save.
Yeah,
And the undead.
yeah, but so we know we can get past the Guardian because of Brophy and Seraphina, because they bear the blessing mark apparently. We just need a way to get up there without endangering the ship, and to bypass the people waiting on our way there.
For bypass, so when it comes to, yeah, I think Lithana would actually outright say this. She says, in order to reach the summit, you fucking your stupid butt game. Never mind. You but have to wait for the steps to align, which should happen shortly within the next couple of days. No doubt those with the means to transverse the gaps between the steps as they align have currently gotten a head start. But it should not prove that difficult to catch up as the steps begin to align from bottom up. Whereas bypassing them, that could be a more difficult feat.
I'd ask her that. I know that apparently my current weapon is evil. Would she be able to produce something that has the same effect that isn't evil?
She said she doesn't say anything, but you
Because I'm not. I just care what it does. I don't care about good or evil. I just want it to be quiet.
she her answer is that evil is a subjective term. Your weapon is destructive to the weave. No, disruptive, not destructive. Sorry. It warps the very fabric of fates.
I can tell you that much. I've seen what happens when I hit it dead on.
Such powers should not be used for such careless destruction.
I wouldn't say careless. I'm a pretty good aim. But I'm not going to antagonize her anymore.
Thalia looks at her and goes, "What boon, if you could bless one to us, would you think that we would deserve?"
Um, the simplest boon that I may grant you, although it may not be the one most useful to you, is simply safe passage in and out of my realm. And she begins to describe to you a process, almost like a ritual. And Milo, to you specifically, this sounds like an arcane spell of some kind. It reminds you of a spell. I think it's like transmutation. Let me look it up.
Transmute people to spirits.
Oh, it's conjuration. Sorry. It's not a particular school that you're familiar with, but she describes to you this process of this ritual involving a tuning fork, and it allows you to phase your party, your group, from the prime material into her realm, wherever that may be, and then back into the prime material. And she tells you that although not always accurate, you may not always come out where you wish you came out. This can be used to circumvent some distance in the prime material. Without this boon, I'm afraid the results of such a travel would be highly unpredictable and chaotic, even with this boon. It would still be inaccurate.
Go ahead.
It would basically allow you to cast plane shift. Probably once per long rest for one of the party members. Now, one of the party members can cast plane shift on you all, basically.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's handy right there. It's a way to heal at least.
Get us out.
The caveat to that is that it acts more like a teleportation than plane shifting. So you would phase out of the prime material into her realm and then back into the prime material somewhere else.
Would it bring us back here, like to this area via the shift?
Not this area specifically, but yes, momentarily.
Milo asked if it would bring us to potentially somewhere even more dangerous than what we left.
you get the sense of a negative, of a what's the opposite term of affirmative?
Negative.
Is that the possible?
Affirmative is yes, negative is no.
Okay, yeah. So
I believe so.
you get a sense of negative, that she's replying in a sense, no, but she says the most accurate usage would be for you to travel to somewhere that you've been before, somewhere that you know well. The less well you know of the place you wish to end up, the least accurate this shift will be. And yes, if you're going to somewhere you have never visited before, the results may be quite perilous indeed.
Well, that sounds wonderful. It might get us out of some jams.
But like she says, it's not possibly what you guys want. Irregardless of which, you guys basically get the next, I would say, probably enough time to get a short rest in as you discuss the various options over the next 8, etc. And I know, Rum, you've been chomping at the bit, but during that time, you guys can all level up to level 7.
Oh,
If you wish. You can stay level 6 if you want.
no. I think I get something baller at 7.
But yeah, you can roll hit die, etc. You don't get all of your spells and etc. back since it's just a short rest.
I gotta pull up my thing for Gunslinger.
I'd be fine with the tuning fork, whatever it is.
In addition to what she's offering you at the moment, she asks, irregardless of the boon, I do have one request to make of you 5. As you no doubt have noticed, various parties and individuals have invested significant amount of their power and resources into the events that are currently unfolding within your sphere. I find myself lacking a similar representative as some of the others have, acting upon the board. Would one of you be interested in serving as my agent?
I would audibly laugh.
Thalia cocks her head and goes, "What would we be the agent of? We know
Change,
Oh, change.
she says, with a capital C. Like she says change, but the word echoes throughout the house.
Like, what would we be in changing? And can you give us? Because Thalia failed that stupid history check earlier about who Athano is.
Uh, she says It is clear now to everyone involved, including those who are most responsible for creating this current situation, that the way things are, the status quo, cannot stand, for it has inherently become unstable. As I have served previously, and now I will serve again, I shall act in the interest of change. For the only constant is change. I would require one of you to serve as my representative upon these chain of events to ensure that things do not stagnate.
As Brophy approaches her, he's just gonna kind of like stop underneath her and stare up.
She's incorporeal at the moment. She's kind of speaking from the very air, the walls itself.
Oh, well, in that case, he'll stay kind of like crouched as he was before, and in like a very soft voice, he'll say, "I'll do it."
Thalia was thinking about doing it too.
There is a pause, and you feel some kind of weight settling upon your frame before it seems to fall past you, and kind of like settle on the floor. And the voice replies to you, Brophy, in specific. It appears you already have garnered someone else's attention.
So Thalia's
task-
looking at doing it.
Okay.
But she doesn't want to go into this blindly. That's her thing, and she obviously states that.
Right. You feel the same assessment over you, but the magic doesn't slough off, for a better term, lack of a better term. The voice says, if you seek specifics, I have none to give you. Needless to say that the sisters asked for my assistance before, and I provided it. They have created the situation that they find themselves in.
So
And no doubt they will require my aid once again.
So the sisters?
Yes.
Give me a moment.
I
My
believe-
phone crashed on me.
I believe you know them via their domains, the Dawn and the Moon. And she says, I judge not their previous actions, but the current situation, the current ordeal, it cannot stand as is. If it should remain as it is currently, it shall. I foresee it leading to the ruination of all. Things must change, and I merely task you to ensure that they change. I care not how they change.
So
Simply-
if I do this, how would we affect the changes, or go about? doing
You
the
feel
changes?
you feel a sense of whimsic. Fucking, I need my coffee, but
Whimsical.
you feel a sense of whimsy. I swear there's like a that's like a lacuna. You're missing a word to describe such a feeling. You sense a sense of indifference from the town, from the house. And she says, that would I guess that would be entirely up to you as the agent of change. How you wish to push, in which direction you wish to push the events. I simply grant you the power to do so.
That's interesting. Well, Thalia doesn't see at the moment why she shouldn't.
Okay. So if you accept, there is. So I take it you accept her offer.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the floor in front of you, once you said the tile, the linoleum. No, it's not linoleum. It's not,
Ceramic?
because that's like plastic. It's more like some sort of slate, like a stone slate, possibly granite. Yeah. It's darker than that, but that's immaterial. The stonework warps, distorts, and twists, and all of a sudden, from the stonework itself, like it bulges slightly, and then kind of the texture kind of changes to almost like a soft dirt-like material, and you see almost directly, almost like time lapse, like bulbs and flowers. Bulbs and leaves sprout, and then this single rose grows from a bud to an open flower within like 3 or 4 seconds. And the voice says, "Claim your token."
She goes down and reaches the flower.
Okay. When you pluck the flower and carry it within you, carry it on you, you feel a sense of you feel a sense of drive. It's almost like ambition, but rather as ambition towards a particular goal. This ambition seems to be more aimless. You've felt this sensation before to a lesser extent. You've heard it described by other elves as wanderlust, like there's something out there that you must discover, but you don't know what that thing is, which is what drives some of the elves to travel.
Okay.
You get that powerful sense, and you're like, oh, this must be what it feels like. In addition to that, I will whisper you some things. The rest of you, I guess, are working on your character sheet.
Yeah, I have tons of stuff to add, and I can't copy it
Okay.
because it's a PDF.
What page are you looking at, and what are you wanting to grab?
It's the Matt Mercer 5e Gunslinger PDF.
Oh. I just open it in my Explorer, and I can copy and paste from Explorer.
I don't know problem writing it. I can always use a practice because I never write. But I get a pretty spiffy thing at 7. 2 spiffy things at 7, actually. I can add my proficiency bonus to my initiative, which is pretty baller. And I get violent shot. Just out of curiosity, if I had volunteered to be her champion or enforcer or whatever, she would have shot that down in a heartbeat, right?
probably you gather that that you wielding that rifle has set her pretty firmly against you.
Well, I've offered her to give me another one that's not so nasty, apparently.
Apparently, that's not possible.
That's fine. I love this fucking gun. She can go to hell.
She hands you a hand crossbow.
Yeah, no. It's not my bag. I didn't even roll my hit die. That's what, a D10?
I just took half, or the average.
Actually, what I need to do first is, since we're getting a short rest, I can use my hit die to get some health back, correct?
Oh yeah, that's a.
Or since she's sitting here and she's feeding us, do we also get our health back even though it's just a short rest?
It's a Cav question.
Yeah. I'll wait till he returns.
All right, did you get that, Thalia? But yes, when you query, there is food brought out, although you don't see exactly what's bringing out the food. You just see plates piled with various foodstuffs. There are poultry, although you don't recognize what the poultry is. It's kind of like chicken and it's kind of like duck, but it's neither. It almost reminds you of goose if you've had goose before.
It's a turducken.
I was going to say turducken too. Kev, since she's feeding us and this is a nice meal, do we still have to roll hit dice, or can we just say we get our health back from food? Which I can do either.
No, you roll hit die.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do that now. We're going to roll 2. Oh, man.
My sheet's not rolling for some reason. Watch it like roll 6 of them in a row once it catches
I'm just
up.
going to roll my last 2. Oh, yeah. Well, if you did it the first time, you jerk. But actually, you know what? Well, no, I have 0. No, I'm at 7.
All right, and who wants to who wants to a separate rows? This rose. So the rose that she picked up was a red rose. There is a white rose that also grew, and the Lethano says the second rose will impart permission to the wielder to enter and exit my domain.
Milo stands up.
Okay. So when you pluck the rose, you feel almost like knowledge unfurling in your mind. As the rose, actually, both the roses do this, by the way. After you realize that the rose has disappeared, you find somewhere of the identical color.
Tramp stamp.
You can decide where it appeared. It's up to you. But Milo, you gain the ability to cast a modified version of Plane Shift. The caveat to that is that you don't cast it. It doesn't pop you into another plane. Instead, it phases you into that plane and back into the prime material somewhere else.
Pretty cool. I guess I'll
And
put
you
it
were
on
you were
my,
warned. You were more familiar you are with the location that you were intending on popping out, the easier it is to do so. And if you're not familiar at all with the location, there's something.
So I would be able to, like, obviously this house is like, would be able to come here and then be able to go back to a place I'm familiar with in the other plane, the real world.
Lethano tells you that yes, this house is a part of my domain, although it was not always here, and it will not always be here. After all, the domain of change.
He asked her if she has any other options on something more stable. I also might have guests over.
You might hook up with a nice halfling.
Trying to kill them, chasing them around the house.
All right, so let me know. No, she doesn't have anything. Nothing in the domain of change is stable, at least not for long.
Can I roll Arcana or something so that Milo would have an idea of some place that would be safe? Perhaps he's seen someplace already.
Sure.
Well, if roll me. The realm of change, why don't we, whenever we use it, it creates a small change in the area where we create technically a room, and once we leave, it changes back.
Milo, roll me an Arcana check.
Coming up. In the meantime, while this thing is loading forever, the rose. I was going to include it as an item, or should I put it on my spell sheet?
Just put it on your character somewhere. Possibly as like a class feature.
Okay.
It's not really a spell per se. Like, it doesn't use any spell slots or anything.
All right. If I lose the rose, the power to do this is gone, correct?
Well, I guess that depends where the flower tattoo is.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's around his belly button.
So yeah, if you lose your belly button, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess he's got bigger problems then.
Put it on the top of your head.
You should put it like underneath your eye, like a tear, like you killed someone in prison.
No, he likes to disguise himself periodically. So here comes
That's why
Arcana.
you technically put it on the top of your head, underneath your hair.
No one will look at my belly button anymore.
Interesting. So Milo, through your interactions with this place, and given the weird nature of the place itself, and the fact that you've witnessed several weird things, such as the flower growing out of the ground, etc. You originally thought that you possibly were in the interior of some sort of magical mansion, but you've slowly come to the realization that you're probably in one of two particular planes. You're either in the Feywilds, or you're either that, or you're in the astral plane. And in particular, the astral plane, to a lesser extent, the Feywilds, you know that a particularly strong intellect or personality can sometimes shape their very surroundings simply via like projecting their personality, like say, for example, that like it's not so much a belief, but like you push the very fact that you're in like a forest, for example, and for a distance around you, the plane will change to mimic what.
Okay.
And to your that means that unless someone else has already imposed their vision, their will upon the current domain, the current area that you're in, when you first pop into the domain, your surroundings should be fairly malleable. So what I'm saying is that when you pop into the domain, you can probably, like Thalia said, create a small room. If you're not popping into something that already exists under someone else's control.
Okay. Kind of manipulating it and making it our own.
You can't quite tell which one it is, though, if it's the Astral Sea or if it's the Feywild.
Guide.
All right. So let me know when all of your sheets are your level 7s are done.
I just gotta find a way to add a +3 to my initiative, and then I'm set.
What do you get the +3 initiative from?
Hold on. I can link it now that I did it.
Oh, right. It's the Matt Mercer gunslinger thing, right?
Anyone else's Roll20 keep crashing?
Yeah, mine's
Yeah.
done that a few times. Since
Mine
they've added
too.
that new dynamic lighting thing, I've even had my NVIDIA driver crash once and dynamic lighting turn off. Which is kind of funny because I was in mid-game and suddenly I could see the entire GM's map.
That's no good. I guess
So,
it could
yeah.
be good for
I accidentally cheated. That's what I'm saying.
accidentally on purpose.
Oh, you got violent shot.
Mm-hmm.
I should be good on mine, but for the fact I can't seem to update my hit dice pool with my new hit die.
Yeah, the sheet's been wonky as hell with my other one as well. You might have to manually go into the abilities and attributes section at the very top and actually find the particular fields themselves and alter the numbers.
Okay. Yeah, my level up was simple, just level 1 rogue.
I hit the abilities and attribute, and then my game froze. But no, then it straight crashed. Okay.
Was the D10 your HP roll?
It
Nice. That's super good.
was. I was pretty excited about it.
I'm always too afraid to roll for my hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
If I
too.
try attributes and abilities, it just straight up crashes.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, you're right. Oh, no, it worked for me. Oh, Thalia.
That's
Was
not
that your
ability
hit die
save.
roll, or was that
That was
your
the hit die
recovery
roll.
roll?
The hit die roll, but it didn't include the Constitution modifier.
I guess it didn't.
Oh, you know what? I didn't include the Constitution modifier on mine either.
Yeah, none of mine did either.
Milo,
One
that was
d
2d6.
8 plus hit die times con. So yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
was rolling to gain hit points.
Oh, I see. I was thinking.
No,
Your
I'm
wizard.
using the just to go up. I used his normal. Every level I've used his old. He's up to 41 hit points.
I was
Yeah, now-
rolling that to figure out what my gain was.
I have exactly 60 hit points now because I didn't add my
It's
first.
5 plus your con if you're taking the average, Thalia.
No, I rolled it. So
You do your con mod if you roll it.
You do.
Alright.
there we go.
$38 spell points, 41 hit points.
Okay, there we go. I think I'm done. I just had to choose a spell and update everything.
Yeah, I think I'll just have to wait for a character sheet update and remember I have an extra D8 hit die.
Those of you who want to, and you don't have to, I don't think, Milo, you have to do this at all because I've already done it for you. I can throw you a new character sheet, from the new version. And if you want to, you can manually copy over the character.
I could do that after the game.
Sure. I've done that for you already, Milo. A couple of sessions ago. Because you were complaining that your sheet was loading up super slow. And yeah, it was loading up super slow. It still is, I think.
Yeah, I got my initiative fixed, so I'm set.
All right. So, you guys finish up at the end of your short rest. You're kind of settling in for a full long rest. When you feel not really it's not so much a shudder. It's not the house that's moving. It's you. You all feel a sense of vertigo, except for you, Thalia. You feel, for lack of a better term, Thalia, although you're not quite sure how to describe this to someone else if they were to ask this of you, of how it felt, you feel like you're standing on the edge of a shore at high tide, and you feel the tide turning. So it was rising, but now it's pulling. I don't know if you've ever felt that sensation when you're at the beach. but yeah, you feel that sensation. Everyone else feels a sense of vertigo. And Lithano, speaking from an incorporeal voice, says, I'm afraid you are out of time. The line twists. Yeah, she says the line twists, forcing you to have to return. You have but mere moments to gather your belongings and things, or else you will miss the alignment.
I think we have everything anyway.
So, curiosity question: is there anything particular you guys have put in your packs from the mansion? And what exactly did you put in your packs? I believe someone took some like journals or something. Or
Oh yeah, I put papers. Yeah, I just put papers. They made
Someone
no
else
sense.
wanted to take a chair.
I was going to ask her, but I never did. And now that I know how much she likes me, I'm not going to bother asking. In fact, I'm going to give my gun a once over to make sure she hasn't fudged with it.
Okay. Give me a
If there's one thing I know, it's that daggum gun.
give me an investigation check. I'll give you advantage.
Who?
I got to add it again. There it is.
Yeah, I had a cape as well.
I know
The
that gun.
cape, the cape was from the closet, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. You don't find anything altered with the gun.
I feel a butt.
I mean, you did crit, but at the same time, there's no such thing as an auto success with a skill check. So yeah, you don't feel like nothing has been fiddled with the gun. Like no parts have been removed, nothing has been added. There's no mysterious runes carved onto it or anything.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm saying is you don't find the trap.
That's what I just wanted. I didn't want it next time I pull the trigger, it blow up in my hands, unless it was my fault.
All right, so are you guys leaving this place?
I don't think we have a choice in the matter.
Yes.
I mean, she's not exactly telling you like get the fuck out now, but like she's warning you that like the lines have twisted, and that you've run out of time, and that you must leave soon, or else you will miss the alignment altogether.
Time to go.
Brophy's got like some like a ham shank in one hand and like a turkey underneath the other arm.
At least thanks for the sandwich.
Let me look up one thing before we proceed further. So first off, well, actually, when you return back, actually, we'll handle this momentarily.
We broke Kev.
We'll handle this momentarily because I wasn't expecting someone to be carrying a freaking turkey.
I'm worried I'm going to step out the area and instantly get hungry because I lost the food I ate.
No, I don't think it quite works like that. But
Milo showing Obi's tattoo.
okay, I want all of you to make a wisdom saving throw, and I will just say Seraphina fails automatically.
As soon as my page loads again.
Of course I would fail.
Oh, that's perfect.
Do I have to make this save?
You do not.
You said
Actually,
which one?
Milo, neither do you. You don't have to make the save either.
That works.
Yep. Okay. And I'll just say Serafina fails automatically. So, this is what occurs. Who exits the establishment first?
I would offer to go first. I was gonna get the hell up out of here.
Okay, so Obadiah, you step through the doorway. There's a momentary sense of, like I said, vertigo, and you immediately walk face first into something extremely hard. You kind of almost bang your nose and your head against it, and you stumble backwards, and you hear a sound of like exclamation, like surprise, and you feel the hard surface like stumble, like carefully move backwards, and you see the armored form of Pippin. He seems quite surprised that you just walked into him. It almost looked like he was in the process of attempting to walk through the doorway.
Why would you park that thing right in the walkway, Pippin?
And as the others follow you out, he glances at you through the open faceplate, rather confused, and he says to you, "What? Out already? What?
Step
Wait,
back
you
before someone
just-
breaks their nose. I'm trying to push him back.
Yeah, no." He stepped back a few paces, and he says, you just turned around, and you kind of glance up, and I don't think you would know this. So
Do I
never
remember
mind.
anything
But-
that happened?
Yes, you do. You're fine. Actually, no, you don't. You rolled a 9. I'm thinking of your investigation check.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, you do not remember. You remember following your party through the archway into the interior of the tower, and then you remember coming back out into the light and banging into. So for you, like 3 or 4 seconds have passed, and evidently, by the expression on Pippin's face, the same has happened. Like only 3 or 4 seconds have passed for him as well.
What are you talking about, Pippin? We just turned around.
You turn around and look. Who comes out 3 seconds?
Thalia goes out last.
Okay.
We'll say
Yeah,
Brophy
Milo's
does.
probably-
So Brophy, you come out. So Brophy comes out second. Similar to, actually no, you made the save. So yeah, you feel a momentary sense of vertigo, and to your Milo and Pippin, Obadiah and Pippin turn to look at you, and much to your surprise, something begins to thrash in your arm. And you look down and you find yourself, instead of carrying a roasted turkey, you find yourself carrying a rather splendid looking peacock
Oh
that
my
is
god.
alive
Nice.
and
Mom.
kicking.
I'm just going to say at this point in time, when he comes out, I'm just going to audibly yell, "Fucking magic!" and just step out of the way. Because something
Alright.
happened. It's magical. I don't remember what it is, and I'm pissed.
So Serafina appears following Brophy, and she stumbles sideways a little bit, and she looks around rather confusedly, and she just says, "What happened?"
Magic happened.
And then Milo comes through. Milo, are you carrying anything from the interior?
No, I don't think he took anything. The only thing he got was that tattoo.
Oh, by the way, the cloak you're wearing, Brophy, is still there. And then Thalia, you come back in through Lars again. Same thing. You don't feel the vertigo, and you retain your memories. Milo and Thalia and Brophy all retain their memories.
I'm going to look at Milo and say, "What happened? I know it was magic. Something happened. I don't remember."
Wait. Does this mean that Obi does not remember the Undercroft now?
No. I actually
That's fine. I think
no.
it's serious if I don't.
Brophy. No, sorry. He still remembers, like, Obadiah. You remember all the events in the Undercroft now, although you're not entirely sure why.
Fucking magic, that's why. Yeah, it's like, I'll just straight up ask Milo what happened. Because I know something happened. But I don't remember it.
You promised to give me all your money.
Well, I don't believe that.
It's a long story.
Brophy's gonna kind of deflate while struggling to hold onto this peacock and be like, man, does that mean he's gonna hate me again?
Brophy, roll me an animal handling check.
Oh god.
Alright. Take 1 point of animal pecking damage as this peacock gets rather upset at you and starts pecking at your face furiously, trying to get loose.
I'll look at Milo and say, why is the idiot holding a bird?
Well, we've always had that.
No, I'm pretty sure we have no use for a bird like that.
It's beautiful.
It's biting him. Why is he holding it?
It wants to be free to roam around on its own and defeat evil.
He's also going to, Brophy's gonna speak up. Well, you always insult me, but I'm still trying to be friendly towards you.
I'll kind of just roll my eyes and look up at Milo and say, so, okay, what happened? And why do I burp Dagwood?
Milo will truthfully explain what happened to the best of his ability from his point of view.
Oh, well, I guess we should get going to the temple then.
Probably.
And you guys wonder why I don't trust magic. I never remember anything. But now I remember stuff that happened before that I didn't remember remembering until I didn't remember what happened in there.
So you just need a couple more times and you'll slowly start catching up.
Do you want me to shoot that bird for you?
Do you want me to kneecap you?
I mean, you don't know. Okay, I just was offering to be polite.
It's
If you want
pretty
to
and
carry
it's
that,
mine. And he kind of
Okay.
like shields it with his body somehow.
well, then I won't shoot it.
It's probably bigger than I am.
Pippin pipes up at this point and says, "Are you all right? What happened? You just walked in through the door."
Milo chimes in and says, well, let me show you something. And he starts pulling his shirt tails out of his pants.
Whoa, Milo.
Shows him his belly button tattoo.
That looks nice, sir. I fail to see the relevance, though.
Brophy's gonna like point at that tattoo with his chin and be like, just suffice it to say, elven women are wild.
And at this point, a couple of the other soldiers who are with Pippin kind of like try their luck again at going through the doorway, and this time their hands meet no resistance, and you watch them disappear into this darkened interior. And you turn around and look back, and it's a completely different scene. It's the gutted interior of some sort of like a tower structure, probably in like an anteroom or reception room of some kind. The furniture within is blackened and collapsed and largely burnt out. And the soldiers begin to like carefully step through the place, keeping a wary eye on possible dangers.
Yeah, Brophy will call out, "Careful, it's not cleared. We kind of really didn't actually go into that building."
Pippin mutters, "Magic."
That's what I say.
Hey,
Well, not you. Your magic's normally harmless, unless it's that snow thing.
not all harmless.
Wait, and then we'll start going through my bag. Oh, I see. I spent about 12 rounds.
Yeah, you got beat up by a woman. It was funny. She also tied you to the wall.
Oh, but I don't regret not remembering that.
How the hell do you spell that?
Hmm?
THAT.
Brown.
It's okay if you boo me.
I think you have permanent disadvantage on all attack rolls.
I earned it.
So Brophy's going to seriously try to tame this peacock.
All right, roll me a additional animal handling check. As I assume you offer it various nuts or berries or snacks.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, you get it calmed down enough that it's no longer trying to kind of like make you into a pirate, but it still clearly is unhappy about being held and constrained.
Oh, ooh, that tiny the bell and chain set. If I still have it, I'm going to try to make that like a necklace for the peacock.
Okay. Sure. So as you dig through your pack, for this this trinket, these items, there is a odd whistle in the air, and one of the soldiers kind of like puts his hand to his brow and like kind of like glances up, and then he shouts, "Look out!" And a few people turn and look at what he's pointed at as well. And I assume you all turn and look.
I'm just going to get the hell out of wherever I'm standing. I'm not even looking.
Okay, so you run, and which direction are you running? So the tower is to your north. The buildings are to your. So the two buildings are to your immediately to your southeast, and one further away to your southwest. The courtyard is actually. I will just. You know what? I'll throw you to this page. That's fine.
Holy shit. I think lightning just hit next door. I almost pissed myself.
Oh. Are you okay?
Wow. The cat took off. That was something.
Brophy just kind of like run up this way, trying to use the buildings as shelter
Okay.
versus whatever's coming down.
Before you do that, though, just to keep track of things, could you roll initiative before you do that? Everyone, rather. Okay. And I will say Seraphina dives into a rubble pile and vanishes for the rest of the game.
My page is still loading.
I don't think my initiative works because it should be a +6. It's only giving me a +3 to Dex. So if you look at it, it's a D20 +3 plus a tiebreaker, so it's 8 +3. It should be +6.
+5, right?
+6. My proficiency. Yeah, I have 3 from Dex and 3 from proficiency.
You don't get your proficiency to your initiative. You get a +2.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, your quick draw feat gives you a +2 to your initiative, not your proficiency to your initiative.
Okay. Proficiency is 3, so where's the 2 coming from?
If you look on the PDF, unless he's changed the PDF.
He updates that thing like every week.
I'll have to look at the new one then.
Oh, this is the 1.0 version actually. What's the new version's PDF?
I copied it word for word and put it.
Sure, that's fine. We'll go with your version. So it's a 14?
It is 14.
All right. So all of you who rolled above a 12 get to spend your movement or your action, one or the other. So basically, you all have an action, and you can choose your action to dash if you wish. And I will describe to you what you see. You see a speck of red light pulsing, like flaring brighter and dimmer and brighter and dimmer. It's trailing like a little bit of a helical smoke trail, and it's descending rapidly from about 60 feet up, down towards your position. Although exactly where it's going to hit, you're not entirely sure because it's kind of falling in a helical pattern.
Well, I'm running away. While screaming, run away!
So yes, Obadiah. By the way, each of these squares is 10 feet. So yeah, you would get there.
Unless I can dash as an action, but you know what? I guess I can either move or shoot, so I'm happy with
No. So basically, all of you have an action, and you can choose to use your action to dash.
Oh, I got you. Yep, I'm quite happy right here.
Okay, so Brophy, where do you run to?
Between the buildings.
Okay, so just to keep in mind, like these buildings, the walls are somewhat intact, but the roofs have like caved in to form like a kind of like a ruined rubble ash pile.
Actually, from where I was standing, or from where I'm at now, can I get into that tower?
No, the collapsed, rather the collapsed outwards section of the broken off tower starts from about 20 feet up. So unless you can climb 20 feet,
And the door was where?
the door is basically directly where you guys were.
In that case, he's just gonna run into the tower then.
Excellent. So I'll just draw the door like thus. For a lack of a better artist. Alright. So you dash, you run into the building, startling a couple of the soldiers who are searching through the rubble. And
I'll
you
scream,
dive.
"Get down, undercover!"
Yeah, and you dive behind a cabinet that has fallen on its side, yelling, "Get behind, get down, into cover." Thalia.
Awesome. Delia will hear to say, "Get down, get out, get in cover," and she's gonna go right around there.
Okay. And it starts before Milo, so Milo, I will let you choose which direction is 1. So if you imagine this square, like the square of a sundial, I'll let you choose which direction is 1, and then if you're going clockwise or anti-clockwise.
Okay. Give me 1 second, because this thing froze again. I mean, we just say 1 is north and also clockwise.
Okay. Okie dokie. So, the speck of light descends in a helical pattern, eventually slamming to a stop just west of Obadiah, and erupts in a gout, a mushroom cloud of fiery brimstone, sending chunks of masonry and bits of ashen wood flying all directions, scattering around the courtyard. Oh yeah, that's right. Deck saves. Never mind. Let's make that first. Okay. You don't have to make this save over there. You're not within range. However, Lance Corporal Cheeky and D Squad are caught within the blast radius.
Not cheeky.
The blast throws one of the steam dragoons against the stout stone walls, and you guys hear like a crash as it leaves a bit of an indentation. However, the armor itself, you see him kind of like he doesn't even go to his knees. He doesn't fall over or anything. It just kind of stumbles him momentarily. There are bits and pieces of the armor that's on fire, but otherwise seems largely unharmed. These squad get scattered. They're not like killed, but like they get thrown to the ground and kind of bowled over, scattering. A couple of them dropping their rifles as they're kind of thrown sideways into the southwestern building, kind of like the rubble pile. And there's like cries of alarm and pain as several of them suffer some injuries. And then you guys hear from the south of you a horn blow, like doo 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 doo. Some kind of a war horn. Although you're inside the courtyard and there's like 10 feet walls surrounding this courtyard. There are various gaps in various places, but you're not close enough to any of the gaps to kind of peer over the walls to see what's making the sound. Milo, what are you doing?
The danger is coming from the south.
You hear the horn blowing from the south.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I think Milo's just gonna use his movement or his dash to move over here.
What, one of the squad guys?
Huh?
Talking about Brophy.
Oh, okay. Oh, so sorry. I didn't see Milo moved over there. So okay. Are you doing anything for your action?
No, not at this point. He's just trying. He's trying to ascertain what's going on or what that sound might entail.
Okay, so you're not sure what the sound was. It sounded like a horn instrument of some sort, but you recognize a fireball when you see one. That was a fireball that landed in the courtyard.
Nice.
My voice is going a little bit, so I'm gonna go get it or etc.
Cool. Sounds good.
That fireball was nice for Lieutenant Cheeky.
So the next time you guys see Brophy, you should totally be seeing him running around with peacock feathers on his back.
Because he murdered the bird.
Nope, I'm gonna try to strap it down on my back. By the way, is it male or female? Males are the ones that have all the pretty
It is
plumage and
male.
stuff. Awesome, I love you.
It's a pity that Obadiah doesn't remember what peacock tastes like.
What have I eaten peacock?
That's what we ate in there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Because we didn't know. Well, no, I had a friggin'. I just had a big old dagwood. And they ate the peacocks.
Yeah, so everyone back?
Yep.
Alright. Sergeant Pippin slams down the helmet carapace of his armor and turns around, and the steam starts to billow from various vents and outlets as he throws the armor into some sort of battle mode or something. And he starts calling out orders amplified by little speaking tubes or trumpets, calling for, like, A squad, onto the walls, points towards the west, and then, like, calling out various others. And he just points towards the elves, the three elves with the long rifles, and he just hooks a thumb over his shoulder at the tower, and they nod and kind of run into the tower and start to head towards some stairs, going upstairs. A squad runs towards the west to back up Cheeky. C moves towards south to join Lance Corporal Dobie. And from the south gate that you guys entered through, you hear sounds of shouts, people shouting, and then the sounds of rifles going off. Okay. Why didn't it roll? Oh, it did roll. Never mind. Okay. And then it is Obadiah's turn.
Alright, so what we know is the fireball didn't come from the tower, right? Or did it?
No, it did not.
Then I misunderstood. That's why I ran away from it. So there's something coming from the south?
The fireball, you're not, it's magic, so
Yeah.
you're not entirely quite sure, but the fireball looked like it came from somewhere high overhead.
Okay.
At least, possibly not one of the higher islands that are currently floating overhead, because those are 400 or 500 feet away. But it came from beyond the tower.
Well, I am going to head up here and get catty corner to this building here.
Okay. You can use Alt, by the way, to not snap the grid.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I have a little bit of cover, but what it sounds like, there's something coming from the south, correct?
Correct. You can hear the sounds of gunshots and
well,
people.
then I'm going to pretend that I'm playing PUBG here, and I'm going to lay down prone and ready a shot at the first pleasant thing I see.
The first unpleasant thing you see, or the first pleasant thing you see?
Unpleasant.
Okay.
Well, what I deem as unpleasant.
Alright. Brophy.
I'm going to use my entire turn to grab my rope and start rigging a harness to tie this peacock onto my back.
PFAS.
Okay. Throw me an animal handling check.
Oh god.
This is the best. Okay. This is the best.
Obi goes back and biting the shit out of you while he's on your back.
It's okay. When I'm in rage, I take half damage from everything.
All right. So, much to your guys' surprise, as you're kind of catty corner on this side of this building, Obadiah, you feel something brush across the back of your leg, and you kind of snap your head around to look, and you see a loose peacock run past you, flapping its wings.
Shit.
While I do personally find it unpleasant, the idiot seemed to have some sort of desire to keep it around him, so I'm just going to let it do its thing unless it starts biting me. Not just going to shoot it out of cold blood.
No, it seems intent on escape.
Well, you can't blame him for that. Yeah, well,
You're not entirely sure which direction it seems like escape is at the moment. It seems to be just running around haphazardly, zigzagging all over the place in the courtyard.
like a peacock with its head cut off.
Basically, yeah, precisely. Thalia.
Thalia is looking kind of lost. She's hearing all these sorts of instructions, and a fireball just went off, and there's a peacock running around, which is going that way, so she can't grab it. But so she's gonna enter the tower, I guess.
Okay.
And she's gonna be yelling, "What the hell is going on?"
One of the guardsmen who runs past you to join A squad, because it was part of A squad that entered the building with you, says to you as they pass you through the doorway, "We appear to be under attack, madam." You've already named them. Yeah. So at the end of your turn, we'll use Milo's current reckoning. Oh, that's no good. I would like for I'll roll a 1 or a 2. Obadiah, higher or low?
Hi. Rip. Well, hopefully if I blow up, the bird goes with me.
Alright, Obadiah, I need you to roll a dex save. Alright. So the save is meet or beat, right? So yeah, you met the save DC. So you end up only taking 13 fire damage as this peacock jumps over your leg, runs out into the courtyard, right as a speck of light lands basically right on top of it, and there's a giant flash that blinds you momentarily and throws you back. You like instinctively flies past you, and you hear like a Pippin grunt momentarily as the corona of the fireball washes over him, and you hear the sounds of servos and of clockwork and various pistons and stuff straining as he staggers sideways. Thalia, as you run through the doorway and these two soldiers run out, there's an explosion behind you, and you hear the couple of soldiers from A squad kind of like cry out and stagger backwards in reaction back through the doorway. And as you're watching in this direction, and as Brophy, you're peeking over the edge of you're scrambling over the edge of the cabinet trying to go after Philip. You see a fairly well roasted poultry come flying back through the doorway to land at your feet. And you feel the familiar rage building. I need to make some other rolls. Give me a moment. Oh, that's no good. So 1, 2, 3, and then that misses. Only if its soul is willing.
Only if it's Marmaduke.
Only if its soul is willing. So A squad, sorry, not A squad. Take. Okay. Yeah, you hear the sounds of sounds of cries of battle coming through the closed doorway at the southern side, and you hear sounds of gunshots. And actually probably not that much familiar to some of you, but you hear the high pitched whistles of arrows being fired through the air. Not entirely sure what's happening outside. Milo, it's your turn.
On my turn, can I use Ralph as well?
Where was Ralph?
I
think he was right behind me.
never ended up moving him, but he's here.
He's no longer there.
Okay.
If he was with you, however, Milo, I'd assume Ralph would travel with you otherwise, right?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time he would.
Okay, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here. I'd assume Ralph would be with you, unless you send him somewhere.
How tall is this tower?
It stands at its peak. The top level is about 40 feet up. The crevice, the fissure starts at about 20 feet up.
So I don't know how damaged it is. But I could, especially the roof, because I can't see it. But could I fly Ralph up there, just have him take off towards it, so I can get a look at it?
Yeah, sure. So I think it takes your action to look through your companion's eyes, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So your bird flies up easily, and determines that well, it's not an architectural genius, but you're looking through its eyes, so you can tell that something exploded inside the tower. It kind of pushed one side of the tower out, possibly over the edge of this island. The roof is the very top level of the tower is flat. It's like a keep, but only about half of the circular ceiling, the circular top level, remains. The rest of it has fallen into the tower. There are shattered remains of staircases. You see some of the elves with the long rifles running up them at the moment, fairly limber, jumping from fallen stone to pillars and up onto the second floor as they try and find their places at open windows and the various fissures.
And the attacks seem to be coming more down, from the air so far.
The fireballs seem to be dropping from. They seem to be arcing from somewhere, and dropping into the courtyard. Roll me a perception check. I'm going to give you disadvantage just because of your location.
As soon as it lets me hover on it long enough, I will do that.
Oh, also I need to move this island. All right. Yeah, you can't quite tell where it's coming from. It looked like, in its general trajectory, it looked like it came from the south. Like it looked like a parabolic trajectory, like it came up from the south and then came down into the courtyard, as if someone's lobbing them parabolically blind into the courtyard.
All right. I still have my movement though, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm just gonna move Milo behind this building. He's not actually using the hide action, but he's kind of like hiding behind the corner over here.
Okay. Soldier's turn. The squad kind of dust themselves off, recover themselves from their ordeal, start heading towards the south gate as Dobie is shouting something. C squad opens up the door. Some of them go and open up the door, and Dobie steps through, while B squad comes falling back through the doorway, firing their rifles at something beyond the doorway. Yeah, Obi, I think you would be able to see 6 or 7 tall humanoids, large, like, not large humanoids, like not sized large humanoids, but like tall, burly, dressed in hide skin, holding clubs and various other types of crude war instruments, charging after B squad.
Can I get a shot on him from this angle? Or?
You can get a shot off on 1 or 2 of them. Yeah,
I'm just going to use my prepared shot if I still can.
sure.
So that's the first one, whichever one's closest. He's going to get this to the face.
So just so that you're aware, there are 6 of them in this group.
Okay, well, I'm going to shoot at the one that's the easiest target.
Okay, they all seem functioning.
She did fuck with my gun.
She did fuck with you. 1d100.
Oh, grumble.
All right, so like you don't remember because you don't remember.
I don't. Obi doesn't know, but I know she fucked with my gun.
But yeah, you pull the trigger and something goes wrong. Whether you're jostled by the fireball or some mechanism goes wrong, and there's a crackle pop from the cylinder, and you feel sharp flakes and embers splash across your firing hand and down your forearm, and you receive 6 points of like shrapnel and burn damage.
Oh damn! Okay.
Yeah, because Griswold's Revenge is an experimental weapon.
I take my 6 damage.
Yeah, I know what happens, Kev. The bird's dead body gets blown up, and the remains get flung into the barrel, causing a misfire.
That's precisely what happened. Lieutenant Dobie, though, however, steps out, unlimbers his war axe, and charges towards the nearest group, and tries to chop them in one fell swoop in a blow. I'll just use this roll and modify the rolls. Oh. And you see him stumble out of sight, mistiming his swing, and kind of fall out of sight to one side. C squad is going to fire a couple of shots. Standing on top of the walls, bang bang. One of them, I think both of them hit actually, for some damage. Okay. And then A squad is going to speak with. No, A squad is catching up because they got caught at the edge of the fireball. And then it is Obadiah's turn.
Well, I got 2 more rounds in the chamber. That's smoking. So I'm going to take 2 shots at the same group.
Sorry. Before you, yeah, go ahead. But Pippin says to you, by the way, you need to use one of your attack actions to unjam your gun because it's technically
That's fine.
a miscast jam. But yeah, Pippin says to you as you're working on your gun and getting ready to fire, he says, "Perhaps, sir, you should withdraw into the tower. We'll cover you. It's our job."
I just grunt and take that shot.
Okay. Yeah, a 14, I believe, is a hit. Their AC is 14. So yeah, you just managed to shoot the one that you were previously aiming for, and the round kills him outright. You just see, you fire and you just see his head snap back, and there's a red and white mist behind him, and he just crumples like cut strings.
And then I'll use my bonus action to reload.
Okay. Brophy.
Okay. What distance do you get on a run action?
You get your movement speed, and then you dash for an additional. So the dash is the same as your movement speed, so you double your movement speed basically.
You said these are 10
I believe.
squares?
Sorry, what was that? Yeah, these are 10 squares. So I believe your movement speed as a barbarian is like 35.
Yeah, it's 35 with my size.
So you can move 70 feet. You can make it about halfway across the courtyard.
I'm just running out. You killed Philip! And that's my turn.
Oh, I forgot to kill Philip.
No, you didn't. His body's just still on the map.
There you go. Now Philip's dead. Oh yeah, the Sharpies have gotten to their purchase, although they haven't managed to fire. And then Thalia, it's your turn.
God. But the Peacock's still on the map.
It has an X on it.
Oh, I don't see the X. It's probably into the plumage. But, God, so Brophy's on the field. So there's 2 doors, from what I see. The one south and the one to the...
In the courtyard, yes. As you glance through the doorway, you can clearly see that A Squad and Lieutenant Cheeky, Lance Corporal Cheeky, are currently preparing to possibly assault through the doorway.
And the Sharpies are going up the tower, right?
You can hear the Sharpies, the elves, calling out in Elvish as they sit up on the floor above, calling out range markers and sightings of enemies.
Okay. Then Thalia is going to... God, she's probably going to go join A Squad.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely get to them.
There we go. And she'll press her back against the wall so she's hopefully not seen from above and doesn't get a red dot on her.
Okay. Milo. Actually, no. At the end of your turn, it's their turn order, so I will actually do this, actually, just so that I'm not constantly forgetting. Alright. This particular person, this particular pack gangs up on the poor unfortunate Dobie who fell over because he's a Dobie. That's a miss and a miss and a miss
Oh my god.
and a miss,
That armor, man.
and the last one finally hit. So yeah, from outside the south you guys just hear the most awful racket of like a bunch of people with tin drums just banging away as hard as they can. And that's about it. You're not exactly sure what the hell's going on out there, but it seems like a weird ass, like some sort of alternative rock concert.
It's D&D's version of Stomp.
Yeah. Actually, this group is the one that you killed one of them is going to actually take advantage of the opportunity and also go and wail on him. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Is that 220s?
All of them hit.
Oh, that's nasty.
Luckily, there's one less of them.
Well, that one was a crit. So speaking of that one dead guy in the armor that I want.
Okay. So yeah, you see them, the bunch of them pile on, and some of them are like wrestling or something, and the rest of them are doing the old like overhead, like swinging from the back, Fred Flintstone style, banging away at something. Another band comes barging in through the door and engages with B Squad in a bit of a melee versus like bayonet. They don't all manage to get stuck in though. It's a bit of a melee situation. There only about 2 or 3 of them are actively like fighting. The others are kind of just like edging around each other. That is 1 hit for fuck all damage. So yeah, you see one of their clubs catches one of the men on their shoulder. He cries out and stumbles backwards, but doesn't seem to be out of the fight. And then there are a couple of more attacks. Sorry, I clicked too many times that time. I'm just going to average out these attacks, actually. It saves me rolling hundreds and hundreds of attacks. Okay, that's fine. Milo, it is now your turn. Oh, I forgot.
Okay.
Let's throw it to Milo. Milo, high or low?
Low.
I think in the future that question should always go to Milo, because Milo high low. Oh. Okay. So you said low, right?
Correct. That is right.
I mean, this seems fitting. This does seem fitting. So Milo, I need you to make a dex save. Oh, luckily for you, someone rolled super low. So yeah, you take 26 points of fire damage as, again, the familiar spectral fireball. Someone just keeps lobbing fireballs at your direction. This time it lands almost directly right beside you on the back of this building and throws you into the side of this stone tower. Are you still up after taking 26 points of fire damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you are fairly hurt, right? But this time you see it clearly. You see it clearly this time. You saw the origin point of the fireball. It appeared to come from this particular island that seems to be drifting past the 2 islands that you guys are having the skirmish on. I'll point it out to you. Can you see it?
The drifting North Island.
Yeah, correct. And in fact, it has moved since the new round.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do. That's still not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to do either. There we go. And I would like for you to roll me a perception check. Okay. Yeah, you saw that's where the trail originated from, although you don't see the caster. What would you like to do? This happened before your turn, so.
Okay. Let me measure something real quick. That's still pretty far away. Can I see from where I am the Goliaths? Like the Goliaths are attacking. So do I know that? Do I see that?
You can see B squad fighting several large. Sorry, I should stop using the term large because that has a definition. Several burly, statuesque individuals holding crude weapons in the gateway, the south gateway of the keep.
So I would like to return the favor. I know it's the drifting island that's launching the fireballs, but I would like to launch a fireball of my own. I can't reach the drifting island, but I think I can reach these Goliaths without hitting and position it in such a way that it doesn't hit my comrades, and that's what I'd like to do.
Okay. Yeah, you can catch these two bands quite easily without endangering the others. So go ahead and cast Fireball, and I will make Dex saves. They both fail. So 19 fire damage on both of them. Actually, wait. Okay, so actually the squad on the north fails. The squad on the warband on the west succeeds. However, they still take 8 fire damage. Your fireball catches about four of the squad on the north, sets them ablaze, killing a couple of them outright, and the other two kind of like break from the fighting and start to stumble off to one side, kind of like trying to pat themselves out and flailing around and stop, drop, and roll. They're basically out of the fight. They're not like outright dead, but they're basically out of the fight.
Would that trigger attacks of opportunity from B Squad?
Sure. I'll allow that. If B Squad cuts one of them down as they run, but they were dead anyway. So they were incapacitated anyway, so now they're just dead.
Nice.
Incapacitated.
All right. Milo, anything else?
I'm going to have Ralph fly as fast as he can towards the drifting North Island.
Okay. Have Ralph roll me a perception check, and he has advantage. Yes.
I believe he does. I will double check that.
Okay. Just roll me a 1d20. That's fine. Okay. Cool. So Ralph, he's an owl. He's not the smartest animal. Well, he's not technically an animal at all, but he's not the smartest being in the world. But he can count to low numbers. he tells you in your mind, he projects to you the concept of two and then the concept of people. Two people.
If Milo's able to, he shouts two people on that drifting island, and then that's his turn.
And he starts gesturing. Yeah, okay, so Sergeant Pip, seeing Brophy screaming, running off across the court, shakes his head and says to Obadiah,
He's an idiot.
Shit. He swears and starts going after Brophy, so he's going to move and then he's going to hold his action to follow Brophy as he continues trying. Dobie is going to stand up with many Goliaths clinging to him. Actually, he probably has to roll some sort of like a check for this, just because he has so many people clinging to him. Yeah, it's fine.
This is when he starts to do a spin or Rudy and starts cutting everyone down.
And then you guys hear a high, like an extremely ear-piercing wail. It almost reminds you of like the steam trains that you rode on in Helios, but much more higher pitch and interrupted. Almost like the whistle is opening and closing in a rapid pace, like possibly hundreds of times per minute.
It's like a steam-powered machine gun, essentially.
Something like that. I need to roll some con saves.
Gotta get their hands on that bad boy.
Sorry, deck saves.
Oh god, you better hope Brophy doesn't see this. He already wants one of those armors bad enough.
Okay, they do make their deck saves, so it doesn't outright kill that many of them. But yeah, there's something is bad's happening on the other side of the wall. The squad joins C squad up on the walls and begins to fire over the wall. Bang, bang, bang. I'm just going to roll once for each of these and just average out the rolls. That's pretty good. Times 4. So yeah, you see Obadiah, you see the squad that you were firing at, the one that you blew one of their heads off. They just get cut down by rifle fire.
Fantastic.
And they fall backwards, falling off Dobie. And in fact, you hear the distinct sounds of several rifle shots ricocheting off one of the steam dragoons, like pauldrons. A squad and Cheeky go out through the side. Thalia, I assume your intent is to follow them. I guess that's on your turn. Never mind. Actually, they would get to about here and then hold their action. More like that, actually. And then Pippin is holding his action to follow Brophy. Oh yeah, Sharpies. That's right, Sharpies. Sharpies are taking a shot at something. You're not quite sure what they're shooting at. And only Thalia... Who else can understand Elven? Elvish, I mean.
Not I.
Nope.
Okay, so only Thalia. I was wondering more Obadiah or
No,
Milo. But...
I had no need for that poofy language.
Oh wow, why did Roll20 just freeze? Because I clicked on a sheet? Yeah, give me a second, guys. Roll 20 is frozen up.
Doesn't bode well for us.
Calculated the fact that we're all gonna die.
Ah, come on. What the hell?
I just have to reload the page.
Yeah, I've tried that, but it just the little circle keeps spinning. I might have to hard reload. Give me a moment.
Yeah, it's probably a server failure then.
Sounds kinky.
Well, I'm going to grab a bottle of drink.
Okay, the screen just went. I mean, the page just went blank. Roll 20. You're so good.
I'm just gonna grab a fat cat.
What's a fat cat?
The cat I have in my arms, he's a fat cat.
Oh, I get you.
He's not Murr. Murr's very live. Fudge, on the other hand, lives up to his name.
All right, so you hear from overhead, Obadiah, from behind you, up in the tower, two familiar-sounding rifle shots crack out, and then a voice in Elvish calls out something. You don't understand what they're saying. None of you understand what they're saying except for Thalia. All right, and it is now your turn, coincidentally.
Well, he yelled about something about that island.
Yeah, Milo yelled out that there are two people up on that island. And he
Can I
pointed
take
at the
a
direction.
look from? I mean, I don't have much of an angle on it, but like if I redirect, like kind of like jostle so I'm now facing this way.
Yeah. Roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
That's just a straight one for me, right?
Yes, correct.
Oh, they're sucker.
Yeah. There's too much. I think it's you can blame Pippin. There's quite a bit of like steam coming off his vents off the back of his armor, and it momentarily creates this like fog bank or cloud that you can't quite peer out through. You can make out the island, kind of, but that's about it.
I can still see this jerk here.
You can.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna re-jostle. I'm gonna take 2 pot shots at him. Nothing fancy. Actually, the first one's gonna be fancy.
Oh, there's 4 people in that group, so
The first one, it's gonna be sharpshooter.
okay. Oh yeah, wow, yeah. So Goliaths are pretty tough, you know that. But your rifle's a monster, and the caliber just rips one of their arms clean off, and that one goes toppling to the side, and then one of the squad steals him by putting him down.
It won't count as mine. I'm gonna take another shot just as a regular.
Okay, yeah, that as well kills one of them. Although that one simply just gets shot in the chest and stumbles backwards a little bit. And again, one of Beast God takes advantages of his flailing about, not defending itself, goes in and rams him through the gut with a bayonet and then kicks him off.
You know, you think they read dwarves the way they're kill stealing, and then I'm gonna bonus action reload. Then I'm gonna use half my movement to get up, and then move about 15 feet this way.
Okay.
It's actually right here, and that's me.
All right, Brophy.
Okay, decisions. Fuck it. He's just going to charge and get as close as he can. That was at 60 feet, so I think I can do a snap adjustment and get within melee of him.
Yep. There's a pair of Goliaths who are currently skirmishing back and forth with Beast God, who looks a little bit harried. Couple of them sporting injuries. You can see clearly through the doorway. However, Dobie is currently in this steam plate, the steam dragoon is currently engaged with a bunch of Goliaths who are kind of like hanging off him like kids off a jungle gym, whacking at his armor with big sharp knives and clubs and etc. He looks pretty scarred up, like the armor looks pretty battered up.
And I'm just gonna scream out wild-eyed, "You killed Philip!" and like brandish my hammer.
Roll me intimidation.
I was gonna think to myself, they're just gonna steal his kills as well.
I'll roll something. Okay. In fact, I'll roll it again. I'll give them disadvantage. Yep.
Oh shit!
Okay. So, you get attack of opportunity. These two, like, wide-eyed after seeing a couple of your companions get shot and then put down, and then the screaming maniac run up to them, yelling something about screwdrivers. They just break and turn and run without disengaging. So,
I'm
attack of
going
opportunity.
to attack recklessly.
Okay, so you whack one of them. How do you kill one of them?
Probably gonna do like a golf swing right into his crotch.
Okay, so you golf swing right into his crotch, and you suspect you broke like his pelvis and probably part of his spine as well, since he just falls straight over it there. The other one goes to run, and one of B squad dashes forwards and lances him through the back of his knee with a bayonet, and the other one comes in with a saber and just takes his head off his shoulder. Kind of like a 1-2 combo. And that's your turn. Actually, that was the end of your turn. Sir, Milo, high or low?
Shit.
Hi.
Okay.
It's always the opposite.
Well, fortunately for you, okay. Fortunately for you, the worst option this time isn't the fireball. So there is no fireball.
However,
Unfortunately, it's something else. Fortunately, it doesn't happen this turn. So nothing happens. Something else does happen, however.
Can I attempt to counterspell it?
You don't see the source of the spell, so no.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Brophy, you can see some lady some lady Goliaths at the back with some particularly nasty looking longbows, seemingly to be peppering. One of them's going to go for engage the guys up on the wall, and they miss pretty badly, just from the cover alone. The other one is going to either go for you. No, it's not going to go for the steam dragoon, because Brophy, higher or lower?
Low.
Okay, so they're going to go for B squad. Nailing a couple of them with arrows in B squad. One of them screams as they're hit in the chest. They suffer a bit of damage. Looking not in the best of nick. They stagger backwards and look to be looking to pull back from the combat, possibly to tend to their wounds. Actually, I'll roll some. They don't seem to be falling back or anything. They seem fairly adamant, despite their wounds, on supporting Dobie, who's kind of exposed out there on his own. From the southwest, Brophy, although you don't precisely see, it's too far away for you to get gauge on where they're coming from. A hailstorm of arrows come down from out of the sky, almost like someone's volley firing them, striking several of the C Squad and yourself, dealing 5 points of damage to you as one of the arrows strikes you. But I believe you're raging, right? So you only take 2 points of damage.
No, I'm not raging currently.
Oh, you're not raging. Okay. So you take 5 points of damage. And Thalia, it is your turn.
Thalia's following after Cheeky and A Squad.
All right, you follow them through the doorway. They seem to be stacking up on the side of the building, ready to push a flanking attack. However, as they're stacking up, you guys watch kind of like the classic sky of arrows, field of arrows, fly over from this like raised platform, this raised area on the opposite island.
Do they fly out in the sun?
No, not enough to do so. Probably only like 30 or 40 arrows were fired. But they came from this direction and landed amongst the southern wall. So, what do you do?
Me, what do I do?
I believe you still had an action.
She did double movement because every
right,
square's
okay.
10 feet.
Okay. Sure. Milo. Actually, sorry. Did I skip someone's turn? Or did I take their turn early?
Did you
think
do the
you-
Sharpies?
I think I took their turn early.
Yeah, you were having the bad guys go right before I went.
Yeah. So my bad. So I'll just skip their turn. So it's your turn now, Milo.
All right. I am about to get hit with something. I have no idea what it is. Not that he would know that. And the only thing he can really reach are these guys right there. So he's gonna launch another fireball without hitting those guys. He'll launch it so that it hits his warband here.
Which one? Which warband are you trying to hit? Okay, yeah, you could launch a fireball in such a way that you only hit that warband. Although I should tell you that like most of them are kind of like clinging off Dobie. Although you're a skilled caster, you could probably do it in such a way that like Dobie is only peripherally caught in the explosion.
Yeah, try not to kill him outright.
11 plus. I don't believe it's a +4, so yeah, they fail. Dealing 11 fire. Well, this actually I need to roll again because reasons. That's even worse. So never mind. Got 5 of them. Suffer 11 damage. Averaged out means you kill about 2 of them with your fireball, damaging some of the others. Not that you could particularly see them, but that doesn't matter.
Trying to.
You can see something going on there. It's fine.
As far as Rolf goes, is there
Ralph can fly even higher and try and get a better look at whatever it is, but it's already reported to you that it sees 2 people up on the island.
I think can Rolf just like try to distract them. He's gonna try to fly by at least one of them and just kind of fly by like really close.
What's its movement speed?
Double check. I thought it was like 90 or something. No, I mean it's probably more like 30.
It is 60 feet of flying, so it would have moved 120 in the last turn, and then 120 again. It could probably reach them, but it wouldn't have an action to do anything to them.
I think I'll just have him kind of above them or somewhere in their peripheral so that he's not obvious.
Okay, so he's basically circling the island surreptitiously. Roll me a stealth check with Ralphie.
Okay. I'll roll d20. He's got +3.
Okay. Excellent.
And then +3.
That's excellent. So yeah, Ralphie reports to you through your familiar link that he or she thinks it's fairly safe.
Cool.
What are you?
Milo just kind of ducked behind that wall that's over there. Not that he can hide, but he's just gonna kind of duck behind it.
All right. Pippin is going to step through. Past. Actually, B Squad is going to. Now that backup has arrived, B Squad retreats back inside. Some of them break out various kit and start to treat some of the arrow wounds and some of the contusions. Dealing with some of the most life-threatening injuries. Pippin steps through. He unlimbers this axe off his back, and goes to take a swing at some of the Klingons. No, not actual Klingons, but like people that are clinging on to.
You're telling me he doesn't have whatever those things are called?
Oh wow! Yeah, with one cleave, he just kills all three of them. Wow, I didn't expect that. Okay, Cheeky runs out. He can't move very fast though. It's to here. A Squad takes up position behind him and fires several shots up this direction, Thalia. You're not entirely sure what they're shooting at. It may just be that they're laying down like suppressive fire, just to keep wherever the archers are, keep their heads down. They don't seem to hit anything, however. They're just firing off shots in that particular direction. The Sharpies. Oh wow! Yeah, the Sharpies shoot, and you, Obadiah, you can kind of tell that they're shooting over, like they're 20 feet up, so it's not coming anywhere near you, but they're kind of shooting in over your head, like kind of like in this direction.
Yeah,
it's clear now that they're not shooting at like the people by the bridge. And then it is now Obadiah's turn.
Okay. It's 30 feet here. And now can you get a view of something on that floaty island?
Roll me a perception check. You are still not really in a because the floaty island is like 60 feet up.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. You can see, gazing through, now that you're out of the smoke and now that the island has drifted just a little bit closer, you can see standing at the very edge of this island there is a figure holding in his left hand some sort of circular hand drum inlaid in with little discs around the rim of it. He's shaking it and then writing it with his other hand. And every single time he does so, he kind of pushes his arms back out into kind of like an upwards, like he's doing YMCA basically.
Well, I have something for him.
Okay.
I'm on the burner. Go ahead.
You don't, however, hear anything he's saying, gesticulating.
Yeah, well, he's not going to hear this either. I'm burning a grit.
Okay.
The 15.
All right. You fire your rifle, and you watch the round hit where you watch the round hit square on his silhouette, to no visible effect.
Well, he can't do anything else, so I'm going to take another shot at him, just not sharpshooter.
Okay.
Same thing, no visible effect.
This time you see your round smack into something in front of him. He's not actively like doing anything. He's not pushing forwards, summoning that shield that you saw. Well, actually, you don't remember this, so never mind. He's not casting a spell to stop your round. Instead, your round seems to be hitting something invisible, almost in a spherical manner around him. And the round is shattering and then spalling off.
Bonus action reload, that's my turn.
Okay. And I will put this person on the layer so you can see where he is. And then you can't see this dome, but I will put down the dome. And then it is now Brophy's turn.
Okay, so is he pretty fairly visible?
He is.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure that this is the mage that killed Philip, so he's got my full ire.
He is, however, standing on an island floating 60 feet up.
That's okay, I've got javelins. Can't remember how many I have, but I have javelins. And as soon as I move 35 feet, he's going to be within my outer range.
Throwing javelins at extreme range. Ah!
The thing is, I can attack recklessly and negate the disadvantage.
Yep. Reckless javelin throwing.
That's 32 out of 35, but I'll leave it there. Alrighty. Okay, question before I just go into a rage. It says I end my rage if I end my turn without attacking something or taking damage since my last turn. Can I like slap myself for lethal damage and just have that count as damage?
Yes, sure. And just to give you a heads up, reckless attack only works on melee attacks. Melee attacks using strength checks, actually specifically.
That's right. And what the hell? I feel lucky. Yeah, just because it's what my character would do. So
Yep.
I'm just going to be like, fill up!
I'll
And
give you
just
inspiration
crush
as well,
this
by
guy.
the way. Yeah, so you chuck the javelin, and you watch your javelin sail up, 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 and then come curving back down and land upon the dome. And this time you clearly see the javelin hit something in material and kind of skitter off to one side and implant itself into the rock side.
I accidentally clicked that water skin. I have
And
one
you
more.
pull out a water
attack
skin
on
and take
this.
a seat.
I'm going to try it again because I have 3 javelins left.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, again, your javelin lands this time directly right where he's, it's on target. But your javelin smacks into something immaterial and invisible, and rebounds and falls back down onto the island below. Doesn't break, but it just clatters.
Just gonna scream out in frustration. And in my turn.
Okay. Thalia.
Yes. Awesome. I don't think she has any attack spells that can reach that far. I just closed my page. Go figure. No, she doesn't have an attack spell. Does she have a long range weapon? I forget if I always forget to give her a long range weapon. Does she have one?
Did you pick the
I feel like you have a hand crossbow, but I may be mistaken.
Oh, I have a light crossbow. So she'll go ahead and pull that out. And it's how many feet is this guy? Can she even see him?
I will say, since multiple people have been shooting at him, that you can see him. He's standing. He's probably got like half cover just from the angle of deflection. Not that that matters to some of you.
Just keep on shooting.
Well, we'll go ahead and try. It won't hurt to try.
Alright, yeah, you shoot spot on, but similar towards the others, your crossbow bolt smacks into some immaterial, invisible dome of force and skitters off, rebounding and falling off the edge of the island to the depths below, seemingly having had no effect. Obadiah and Milo, you both can roll me a perception check. Milo, I think no, your angle's pretty good.
I can't see dick.
So none of you see exactly what this happened. However, you do see the result of which happened.
Sesame Stick save.
No. There's no save involved per se, except for death saves, obviously. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, yeah, your owl. No, you're not looking through your owl's eyes. Your owl says to you over its link. It says, person dancing. However, as you're gazing up your sights at this thing, Obadiah, you feel the cobblestones, the loose paving stones underneath your foot, loosely bedded in this dirt kind of courtyard, shift and move, and you glance down, and out of the ground comes a big rocky fist, giving you a nice uppercut.
Oh,
This is at advantage, so.
right to the junk.
So 24 to hit for 8 bludgeoning damage.
I'll take that. It's better than the other one.
Alright, and then what follows the fists is a rock monster. Not entirely sure if you've seen one of these before, if Obi has seen one of these before.
Probably not, but it's magic. Of course, you'll have to deal with it.
But it is a rock monster, and it attempts to smash you again with its other fist. This is not at advantage. It still hits regardless anyway. So for 19 bludgeoning damage, as it comes across for a left hook and just catches you right in the side of the face. And then it says something to you that sounds like rocks grating upon rocks.
Let out a little help.
These guys are dead. These skirmishers they pepper a couple of shots off at. Actually, I'll roll. Actually, no, there's no need to roll. The bigger targets are obviously the big freaking steam dragoon. So they're going to pepper a couple of shots at them. Not that I don't think this is going to matter because. Oh, actually, never mind. Poor Dobie. He just keeps getting hit. He just keeps getting hit. Then they're going to pull back towards the bridge. And then these other guys are going to fire, kind of like blind fire, volley fire towards the south wall. So this is rolling at disadvantage. Yeah, so just a bunch of arrows rain down around and near you, Brophy, but no one cries out in pain. No one gets struck by anything. Fairly harmless. A couple of arrows plink off Dobie, but none of them seem to do any particular damage. And it is now Milo's turn. Milo, you watch with some horror as the ground literally below Obadiah rises up and tries to murder him.
All right. Ralph is should be close enough where you could dive bomb one of these the floating island dwellers.
Okay, Ralph, which person do you tell? Because Ralph clearly tells you two person. Which person are you telling Ralph to dive bomb?
The one closest to him in the trajectory that he's following.
Okay.
Like southeast.
So Ralph, there's a momentary sense of pain, and then you feel through the link. Ralph says, "Ouch," and then you feel a sense of like a confusion, as if he's, and then the sense that he's flown into something, and that it kind of hurt, like flying into like a solid object.
All right. Some kind of force field or protection. Milo's gonna take a step around the building. And just to be fair, you said something was gonna happen with Milo, but it didn't happen that other turn.
Oh no! I was just
Oh, he was messing around.
something was the earth element.
Yeah,
But it wasn't
Oh, okay. So I'm stepping around the corner. And let me look at the distance here.
Oh, the island would have drifted a little bit, so give me a moment.
He moves 25, so he moves there. It looks like I've got my range. You can let me know if I'm wrong. Aiming with my Rhino revolver.
Police stance, 3-point tripod.
Yep.
All right, yeah, you shoot it in the back, and sending flakes of pebbles and rocks falling off its back. It doesn't seem to quite notice your shot, however. I mean, it left a small pothole, let's say.
That's all I can do.
Okay.
I'm out of magic, so
Yeah. So Sharpies, I'll use Sharpies first.
Hopefully they friggin' see this.
Sharpies are shooting at something over this direction. The same people that A Squad seem to be shooting at. Pippin calls out something, and then C Squad comes running out, and A Squad similarly. Pippin calls out something weird like load the canisters, and he calls out cheeky, load canister, and then like cheeky turns to A Squad and says something, and then A Squad and C Squad kind of run up behind cheeky and Pippin respectively, and then fetch something from one of their packs, opens up some sort of port behind their armor, and like there's a complicated process of like putting something in and turning some sort of mechanism, and then like cheeky and Pippin they each take a knee, and then they bring up something over their shoulders, pointed at the ridge to the south, and then there's a massive concussive blast, like cannons going off, and you guys watch as like a canister of some like almost like a cannonball of some sort arc across the intervening distance and land on the cliffside. And I will click this twice.
Oh fuck!
Which collapses the entire partial of the entire opposing edge, sending rocks and debris tumbling every which direction. You're not entirely sure what effect it had on whoever was up on the ledge. It's not clear. However, D Squad and B Squad, seeing what's currently happening in the courtyard, call out something. They call out through the gates. Rock monster! Rock monster! They turn and start firing their rifles at it, dangerously close to Obadiah. So I hope you're okay with this.
I don't have a choice in the matter.
I mean, B Squad seems to be the better shots, despite the fact that they were previously in the thick of it. They blow several chunks off this thing, sending pebbles and sharp rocks flying in all directions. A few hitting you, Obadiah, but not doing any damage. D Squad just misses. They're like shooting all over the place. One round like skips right between your legs. Your turn, Obadiah.
I'm gonna yell out the Thalia, I'm gonna need some healing. And then I'm gonna look face to face with Rocky G.
Okay. So the first thing you notice abnormally is that he's fairly consistently made from some sort of like a indigenous rock material, like volcanic ash, obsidian almost. However, there is an aberration in his forehead. You spot a cut jewel. It is a sickly yellow sapphire. Sapphires are yellow, right? Yeah, a sickly yellow topaz. Sorry, topaz.
Yeah.
About the size of your thumb, the tip of your thumb, rather.
All right. Well, I was gonna shoot him in the forehead anyways, because this is how Obi does everything.
Okay. You have sharpshooter, yes.
Yes, I do.
But this is melee, so you'd be firing at this.
No, I have.
No, that's right. You're right.
I have sharpshooter and expert.
Okay.
So I'm gonna burn a grit.
I will warn you that trying to shoot the gem itself has a higher difficulty.
That's fine. That's what I'm going for. Grit for the first one. Sharpshooter. So 14, that probably misses.
A 14, just the bullet just hits into his forehead. Its forehead snaps back, and when it comes back, you just see like a scratch mark, a groove on its forehead. Didn't even seem to do any damage.
That's fine. I'm gonna burn my last crit and do it again.
Oh, oh, oh! Wow!
That should do it.
Oh wow! You're the luckiest fucking bastard alive ever. So yeah, well, okay. First, I'll say you're lucky and you're unlucky. How much damage do you do overall?
Well, we maxed it out, so I believe it was
Yeah. So it's
max of 2, so it'd be 24.
Yeah, 48 damage altogether. So, 24, 48, and then plus 10. So 58,
58.
And then plus
Yeah.
And then there's a magical weapon.
Mm-hmm.
It is still alive.
Oh.
You shoot it directly in the topaz, and the top of its head just explodes, raining down into the courtyard behind it, and you see several chunks of the smashed topaz rain down behind it. The topazes, as they land, they pop and crackle, and twist and burn, and you know instinctively it's fucking magic.
Of course it's fucking magic. It's always magic.
The rock monster, however, after being shot in the face and having the top of its head removed, gazes back at you with the bottom half of its face, opens its mouth, and then just starts bellowing like incoherently.
Okay, that's fine. We can do this. This is what we're going to do. Action surge.
Excellent.
I don't have any more grit, so I want to stick the rifle right in its bellowing mouth.
Okay. Yeah, your round fires, but the back of its head is already missing. So you fire through its mouth, causing no damage as your round just rips out the back of its open head and smacks one of the beams in half.
Fine. Then I will take my second shot. I will direct it at wherever this thing.
Don't you have to reload?
Oh, you're right. I'm a bonus action.
Okay.
Reload. I don't know if I can because the action surge is a bonus action, isn't it?
No, the action surge doesn't.
Right. Then I'm going to reload, and then after I reload, I'm going to stick the barrel right between its legs where its rock dong may or may not be.
It doesn't seem to have a rock dong.
Then apparently he has a very strong one because I bounce right off it.
You stick your rifle where its rock dong would be, and then you pull the trigger just as you realize it doesn't have a rock dong, and your round just ends up making a crater between its feet through the thigh gap.
And then I want to say you hit like a bitch, and then I'm going to try to run away. He gets attack of opportunity.
Okay.
So if he hits me, I'm probably going down.
What's your AC?
I think it's 17 now.
Yeah, so it swings and it clips you on the back of your armor, but it just skims off and doesn't manage to put you down.
I'm going to get here. Then I'm going to look at Thalia and go, oh god, there's a rock monster! And that's my turn.
Okay. I forgot to roll for the rock monster, brother. Oh, no, it's fine. Brophy, it's your turn.
Alrighty, well, I'm assuming I heard Obadiah basically screaming for help, and Brown pronounced a rock monster.
Sure, I'll give that.
I never screamed for help.
At the very least, you've heard D Squad and B Squad screaming something about rock monsters, and you hear sounds of gunshots going off in the courtyard from beyond the wall.
But no, you called for healing from Thalia. That's calling for help.
I said I'm going to need it, because I figured he was going to smash me.
Oh, regardless, I've seen I can't hit the guy that I want to hit, and the stupid archers are just running away like pansies. So I'm just going to go back in and see what all the hubbub's about. Actually,
She's being lovey. She's really being lovey.
That's a lovey cat.
subtract 10, so that's only 20 feet.
Yeah, she's normally not a lovey cat.
So I get to about there as a run action. I've just been running all the way. And
I think you would get to about here, though, not there. Because you have 70 feet of movement, right?
okay, yeah, I was trying to clip through the wall too short, I guess. And I'm just gonna bellow out, try to get his attention, and go into a rage.
Okay. Okay, sure. Alright, Thalia.
So Bailey's gonna look at Obi and go, "You hit it in the balls, didn't you?"
But I blew the back of his head off.
Yeah, it's missing. It sands the back of its head. It sands the top. It sands most of its head.
Just got a mouth.
Okay, you regain 12.
Thank you, ma'am.
I really don't want to stay in one spot too long, especially since there's guys that have fireballs up there.
Oh god, I just realized I ran outside where I'm in range of the people whose rock monster I just messed up.
Yeah, you can get into that corner.
There we go.
Alright. Let me look up one spell. So, Milo, you're looking in the general direction. I assume, Obadiah, you're staring back through the doorway, looking for the rock monster,
I am
right?
looking for the rock monster.
Okay. So, do. And its range is that. Understood. So Ralphie says to you through your link, sparkly lights. Sparkly light. And you recall that the last time it told you sparkly light was when you were casting magic missiles. So would you like to use your reaction to do anything?
I have no spell points left.
Okay. So this is split between you and actually no, never mind. We'll resolve the rock monster first because he would wait to see the results of which. You know what? I won't leave this up to someone because I don't want you to get blamed. Actually, I want Milo, Obadiah, and Brophy to pick a number between 1 and 3.
3.
Okay, 3 is taken. 1 or 2? Okay, 2.
And I guess I will pick 1, even though I didn't get to pick it all. Hey, Milo, hello.
Alright.
You're the winner of Magic Missiles.
No, you're not the winner. You're the winner of Rampaging Fist to Face.
Oh, Googa Mooga. That guy's a bitch.
I tried.
So
Oh,
first
no.
one, misses completely, and its arm actually just falls straight off. It comes back around with its intact arm and tries to pound you into the ground at the pace. And it does so handily.
Yeah, he's down.
In which case, all of these are going to you, Obadiah.
Magic missile.
It's how many charges is that?
This is just one charge.
It's never one charge.
It's just, you know what? He's trying something new. He's not trying to show off. He's trying to get, more bang for his buck. Well then, I am also down.
Oh! Dude almost lost his wand.
Well, I am down, so...
Alright, so you guys watch these sparkling lights dart out in all directions from the position up top. And they all converge from 360 degrees down on Obadiah. And he just gets stitched. It's like the scene from... Shit, what is that scene from? Some of you are Stargate fans, right?
Yes.
Remember when SG-1 was on whatever world, there were those little lights that like flew through you and did damage and like zapped you? Do you guys remember that episode? It's like that.
The stinging lights?
Yeah, precisely. Just a whole swarm of them just descend on Obadiah and stitch him, and he just dances in place until he just falls over backwards and lands like a splayed starfish.
It was with the scientists, I believe.
And from up top, the dude who was banging on the drum waves his hands at something, and then you suddenly hear him pull out a horn from his belt and start blowing. And it's like sharp, staccato horn blows. And he walks over, and you see him reach out and touch the other dude who's pointing this wand down at Obadiah. And there's a puff of brackish smoke, and the two of them vanish. When the smoke clears, the two of them are not there. These cats run back around the corner without bothering to engage. Sorry, they get to about there. And then that is their turn. Milo, death saving throw. Oh, one failure. Did you have... By the way, you can also use inspirations if you have them on death saves, by the way, just in case you realize that.
Alright. Maybe next time.
Alright. Sergeant Pippin calls out something to Dobie. Dobie pulls back through in his damaged armor, kind of awkwardly shuffles back in through the gate, takes up position against the wall in cover. C Squad moves to kind of like engage the retreating figures. Fires a few shots, not really intending on killing, just to try to keep them running. Manages to kill some anyway. Pippin comes back through, swears, audibly swears as he sees this looming rock monster with its one fist on the ground, pinning an unconscious Milo high hill underneath. The Sharpies reposition and they try and shoot the rock monster, but they don't really have a good angle on them. So I'm gonna roll. Just take the lower. That still hits regardless. So their damage is it a what's a thing? What's a Sniper rifle's damage again? Obi?
Oh man, I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's like
hold
it's
on.
like 1d12 or something, right?
Give me a second.
No, it's 2d10. Sorry.
Sniper rifle. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pathetic.
2d10.
The other one fires his shot as well. The third one, actually, all three of them are going to fire. None of them need to be operating as a spotter. Okay, so all of them actually no. The second one misses, and the third one misses as well. So yeah, they hit him, but like it's just not really a good angle of shooting him on awkward position. One of them shoots it in like it's stumped off a hand, knocks it off at the elbow. Doesn't seem to particularly hinder or anything. Obadiah, it's your turn. Actually, I need to bio quickly.
Are you good, Robin? You got work tomorrow morning?
I'm good. I don't have work tomorrow. Thankfully. No, it's I have work tomorrow, and then my next day off is probably next Tuesday.
I just want to make sure because it's late.
No, I'm okay.
Sweet deal. The South Park game is now live in my area. We'll go update it because I'm sure it just came out, so I'm sure it's going to need a billion updates.
I'm back. Actually, I forgot about a couple of squads. Give me.
Your time, I already made.
They charge after this thing without bothering to fire at him, trying to close the distance, protect Milo. You're at 1 success, Brophy. Is he okay?
Oh, Brophy's making popcorn.
Okay, that's fine.
Give him a moment.
We'll just go.
He's right.
We'll just
he's
go.
right.
You're on the same
He's
initiative.
right here.
I'm here. Okay, so they just advanced.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they seem to be chasing towards Milo, trying to like protect him. I'm a generous. I'm a benevolent GM. At the same time, I'm a terrible GM. So I'm just going to tell you straight out that it looks purely. This thing looks like it's about to continue pounding Milo to paste.
I'm gonna like pound myself into the chest, trying to cause a little bit of damage, and then I'm just going to like tackle this thing. So I don't know if that'd be a bull rush or what.
It would require your action to
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I gotta take my whole action just to get up to it anyways.
Technically, it's just out of your reach. But no, I'll give it to you. In a moment of rage, you manage to squeeze out that extra 5 feet of movement speed.
I leap off a D-squad's back.
Okay, sure. Sending them all falling prone to the ground.
Probably to save their life anyways.
I would like for you to roll me an athletics check. And you're raging, right? So you have advantage?
Yep. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Alright. Let's see your luck today, or rather Milo's luck today. Oh wow, 27. Well, the good news is that it can't even beat you, even if it rolls a natural 20. So yeah, you knock this thing sideways and prone, and you're kind of now strapping it on top of it.
The whole time, you guys killed Philip!
All right, but that's your turn. So,
Yeah.
Thalia, it's your turn.
Thalia looks over and sees that Obi's down and goes, "Damn it!" So she'll head back. There we go. To quickly
All right,
Thank you.
you spot her awake. For a moment, you panic because there's a glowing light in front of you, and the last thing you remember was being stitched by glowing lights. But then you realize that the glowing light is Thalia's magical hands stitching close some of your sunburn.
Thank you.
Are you doing anything with the rest of your movement and bonus action?
Well, that was her full movement. These are 10-foot squares, remember?
That's right. All right, this thing. The Goliath skirmishers retreat around the corner and are out of sight. What's the expression? Out of sight, out of mind.
Mm-hmm.
The Goliath. I mean, it's not. It's minus its head thingy, so it's fairly stupid and it's basically on a rampage. And this puny midget just tackled it. So it's going to try and make a halfling pancake. First, it's going to like just climb to its feet, use half its movement speed. You don't have it restrained. Your action is simply just to bowl it off and.
Does standing up provoke in this edition?
No, it doesn't. It just uses half of his movement speed. It's going to try and use its slam attack, by which I mean it's going to try and pick you up off the ground and slam you back into the ground. Does a 15 hit you?
It just misses. My AC is 16.
Okay, so yeah, it grabs you and you just like it grabs you quite clumsily with one hand, and you kind of just do like a classic wrestler's like windmill, and just manage to tear out of its grip, and it just reaches up and pounds the ground, and then realizes it's holding nothing, and it comes back, lifts its foot up, and tries to squish you underneath its foot. And you nimbly, actually, you probably just try and tackle his other foot, and he just stomps nothing. Lucky rolls.
Actually, is this a medium or a large creature?
This is a large creature.
Oh, I'm a small, so I'd get pluses to AC and to hit anyways.
No, that doesn't work like that in this edition.
God dang it, they changed too much.
Milo, death save. So you're using an inspiration. That's good, because that's one success and one failure. Okay, so B Squad is going to run over, pull your, well, not corpse, pull your unconscious form aside, and one of them is going to stick you with a glass ampule in the thigh, while the other one pushes some sort of like a compression bandage on your spurting artery out of your shoulder. I will roll. And what is their... They don't manage to stabilize you despite their efforts. D Squad is going to move up and surround You don't suffer a death saving throw or anything. They just fail to stabilize you. These guys are going to move up around this rock monstrosity and start. Like, they look at each other confusedly, and one of them test pokes it with like a bayonet. Managing to wedge the blade in and like chip off some rock. Doesn't seem to be particularly that effective. So they kind of just step back a little bit, so they're not within like melee range specifically. The rest of them, I mean, and they just start unloading their rifles into its form. Luckily for you, Brophy, you're like 3 foot tall, so they're firing well above your head. I'll just use a single attack. That's not enough to put it down, however, even despite the fact 3 of them hit him. It's looking munted, though, for a lack of a... That's a Kiwi expression, by the way, if you want to use that in the future. Munted.
I have used it before, and no one knew what the fuck I was talking about.
Sharpies are going to take a shot at him. Like I said, not in a very good position, however. And the target to beat is an 11. Wow. No, that's not right. That's not right. Never mind. So 13, a 2, that's not going to cut it, and 12. And target to beat is an 11. So yeah, 2 of them hit. Yeah. The Sharpies just like, despite their odd angle of attack, or maybe because of their odd angle of attack, one of them takes its other arm right off, and the other shot hits it in the pelvis and splits its pelvis kind of like through the legs, and the severed torso, sans limbs, just flops down the ground and shatters into a dozen pieces. And Brophy, you're left there hugging an upright leg. That's just. I think you're more holding it upright than it is holding you upright. And after a few seconds, the battle stills, and you realize that the assailants have either fled or all have been killed. Milo, you can roll one more death save, though. Actually, it would come around to Thalia's turn first. So, Thalia, would you like to do anything before Milo rolls his death saving throw?
My turn become before Milo?
Correct.
I have... What's he on? 2 fails?
He's on 1 success and 1 fail.
Okay, so he has to get 2 more fails and he dies, right?
Correct.
She can't... Well, yeah, she can. She's gotta move, though.
Yeah.
Did you skip me out of curiosity? Because she healed me last time, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but like I'm just saying that the battle's pretty much over. Like,
okay, that's fine.
I'm just doing this for the sake of initiative order.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay, so she'll actually move up then and then do this.
Yeah, so if she healing words him, there's no need for him to roll another death save, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll healing word him.
All right, so this is what happens. Milo, you start back awake as you hear a familiar voice calling you from the haze. And as you open your eyes and kind of like shake off the effects of being smashed into the ground by several tons of rock, you glance up and you look in wide-eyed alarm as, again, the familiar-looking rock monstrosity comes bearing down towards your head, only to this booted this rock foot, only to land like 2 or 3 feet away from your head and shatter to a million pieces, to reveal Brophy holding like a severed knee, what remains of it. In his other hand, eating cooked peacock. Is it one of those is it one of those where you're like half sobbing, half eating? Is it one of those?
Not really. I mean, he worked out his rage of losing his newest pet, so he just kind of walks over and looks at it and like hangs his head and sleeps a little bit, and then he just like shrugs and like whatever and picks it up and starts eating it.
All right. So Pippin, after a moment, starts calling out, and the group seems to go through like a kind of like a roll call to see if everyone's condition, etc. One of the others, I think possibly Cheeky, comes over and asks Obadiah and Thalia if your group is okay. And Seraphina pops out from the rubble somewhere. And I think that's actually where we'll leave the session today. Went a little bit long, but that's okay. I hope we got back into the groove of things after a bit of a hiatus. Sorry, that's well, I'm not gonna say it's my fault, but like it's not my fault. Like fucking
Yeah, life happens.
I hate people.
All right. Well,
I don't hate people. I just hate people who like their shit is always more important. Do you know those people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. I'll let you
Zero
go.
consideration for what you've got planned. Their plan just more important, right? Thanks for playing, guys.
Thanks for running. Night, Perrin.
Oh, I've got to go cook steak. Cook steak?
How is that a hardship?
I'll trade you. I have popcorn.
No, that was a good That was an excited
Ah, okay.
Wanna go clean up the barbecue?
I miss my grill. I had a pretty nice barbecue charcoal grill, and then we moved to these new apartments that said before we moved in that I could have a grill, and then we moved in like, oh yeah, by the way, you can't have your grill.
What? You should get that out on contract next time.
Well, technically, it is in the contract saying no grill. Because of the fire hazard here.
They changed everything like right before we moved in. Basically, the fire marshal came by and was like, hey, this isn't cool, you can't do that.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, if it's like a proper thing, I was just thinking that like, I thought you meant like the land lease owner basically just like, nope, no grill.
It kind of worked out, but it wasn't really their fault. And where we live, the state we live in, at least, a grill or any type of open fire source has to be, I think, 40 feet away from anything. And you can't get 10 feet away from anything. So
Yeah, that's impossible. Like even here in New Zealand, well, not in town at least. That's stupid.
yeah, the one thing we can
I mean,
have-
a properly built and secured like grill. Like, what are they expecting you to throw sparks like 40
it's
feet?
America. It's stupid. But the one thing we can have is an electric grill. So like the the UV heat and all that. But
Oh.
those are really expensive for anything that's
Yeah.
moderately good.
I can just imagine. Oh well, you better have to start learning how to, what's it called, sous vide.
No idea what that is.
It's basically like you wrap the steak in like a vacuum seal pouch, and then you kind of like slow cook it in like I think it's like 60 or 70 degree water for like a day, so that the meat itself is actually cooked, and then you just throw it onto a grill to sear it, and then you can serve it straight away.
Oh, that takes way too long. I have a cast iron skillet and I just throw it in the oven. It's not nearly the same, but it's still steak. But yeah, every day I was like grilling something.